Thank you to Honey for sponsoring today's episode of the Chuckle Sandwich Podcast.
Hey, everybody. My name is Schlatt, and I'm back for an episode of the Chuckle Sandwich, starring my friends Ted Nivison.
Hey, what's up? Also,
Charlie Slimesicle.
Yeah, that's me. Are you good, man?
Is this a kid's show? What do you think this is?
And Swagger Souls.
Hey, everybody.
For some reason. Why is he here again? Real talk, guys, why is Swagger Souls back?
Swagger Souls is our new member.
Yeah, I never left the show. I never left the Discord call. All three of you left. I just sat here for a week.
It's been a week. You haven't eaten. You haven't drank anything. So I mean, how do you feel?
I've eaten and I've drank. I don't have the wrappers here anymore. They're all in my garbage can. But yeah, I had some twisties.
What in the world?
I had some chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know what a twisty is. I know what chocolate is.
Swagger's giving us a piece-by-piece representation of what it would be like if he were a raccoon in another life.
Yeah.
Any granola in there?
Nah, no granola. But I was drinking.
Don't show us that.
Australian food.
No free clout. No free keel.
Okay,
Blur that out.
all right.
We can't just be drinking shit willy-nilly.
Hey, yeah, I can I can hit you up with this. It's probably still blurred, but I can hook you guys up.
We don't do with sponsors.
Boys, I had a really rough moment the other day.
Really?
When I went to a rough series of moments the other week that I hadn't gotten a chance to talk about on this podcast, but I think I'm going to talk about it right now, okay?
All right.
I was driving down the highway, and I hear a little sound, the sound of dragging, metal dragging, as I'm driving. I'm in my beautiful Toyota Tacoma 2002, love it to death, and I hear the sound of metal dragging. I say, that's not a sound that I should be hearing from my truck. So I pull over on the highway, and I look under my truck, and the entire exhaust pipe has been dragging on the road for several miles.
Seems dangerous.
And it had the entire connection to the fucking muffler had just completely rusted off. So I could literally pull the exhaust pipe out, and I just tossed it in the back of my truck, and I kept driving. But I
don't need those anyways.
Well, I actually have to drive with the windows down now because I looked it up, and apparently if I don't, then my entire cab can fill with carbon monoxide, and I could just fucking die on the road.
I'm glad you looked it up because I think I would have been like, it's like a spleen. I don't know what it's for. Throw it in the back and just die.
Exactly. But that's not even the worst part.
Right.
I take it to the worst part of my week at least. I take it to the local Toyota in Hollywood. I drop it off, and I hadn't eaten any breakfast that day. So I go to the fucking Starbucks.
Listen to you, Ted. You urbanite. Oh, I took it down to the truck shop in Hollywood. I live in L.A., by the way. I didn't eat breakfast either. I was thinking about going to the avocado bagel store.
I had to pay a Wolverine.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
I go to the Starbucks.
I had to put on my N95 mask, not because there's a pandemic, but because there's smog everywhere in the city I live in. Jesus, listen to you, yap, Ted Nivison. You know what? I'm getting upset now. I'm not even going to let you finish the story because I have to interject. Last time when I turned off the podcast, Ted looked me dead in the eyes in my two hosts, and he said, Schlatt, you didn't pull your weight this episode.
I didn't even say that. Charlie said that 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, he said I was there.
I was there. Charlie can attest to it.
I was there before everyone left the call. I was literally sitting in the call for literally a week.
Wow.
So I remember it.
You know what? This is slander once again. Anyways.
No, it's not slander. No, there's no anyways.
Are you going to let me finish my story?
Let me pull my weight.
Swagger, I'm so glad you're here, man. Sometimes I'm not sure who's the guest here.
Right?
Ted's
Exactly.
So I did what any modest, critical thinking person would do. And I went out and I bought a diffuser for essential oils to calm my bones.
Yes.
And how is this more interesting than what I had to say? This is you bought an oil diffuser?
This is some arcane Minecraft notch Hexit shit.
Yes.
I don't even know how the fuck it works. And I like technology. So hold on, let me mosey on over to my essential oil collection. I got 4 of them.
Oh, nice.
I got 4 of them. There's one called Boost.
Ooh.
There's one called Sleep. There's one called Quiet.
And there's one called Exhaust, which brings us to that story.
Anyways, I go to the.
So let me put my. I'll put my essential oils and I'll light this bad boy up, and then we'll get back to
I'm going to
story.
burn you at the stake.
Ted,
I am going to burn you at the stake like they did to the witches in Salem. You terrible, terrible man.
I'm putting in the dusk flavor.
Ooh.
All right,
Ted,
so
get back to your story. Sounds like a real drag.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So that ends that episode of the Schlatt Show. Anyways,
The exhaust was dragging behind.
Oh my God.
Can you waft some over here? Awesome. Ooh, for all you listeners on Smellify, you getting that?
I bought Gwyneth Paltrow's egg. I'm gonna stick it in my pussy.
What is going on with you today?
He started off like a different. He's been like 4 different people in this episode.
Yeah, this has been really some whiplash. Anyways, I go to the Starbucks. I'm hungry. I need a Sammy. Okay, I go buy the Sammy. They heat it up for me. They hand it to me in a nice little bag. I'm walking out the door. The moment I open the door, I hear a splat. I look down. My fucking sandwich has fallen. The bottom of the bag broke, and the entire sandwich fell, and it is splayed out on the streets of Hollywood Boulevard, Walk of Fame. I live in Hollywood. I live in L.A. Look at me. I live in L.A.
It sounds like a cold open to our podcast. Like you put hands down at the sandwich. Chuckle sandwich.
Yeah. Honestly, that is a very good point right there.
Right?
Yeah. It was not a chuckle sandwich, though. It was a sadness sandwich.
Yeah, that is arguably worse than almost dying of carbon monoxide poisoning.
It is, because I look over at the security guard because I don't know why the fuck a Starbucks would need a security guard, but I look over at the security guard.
Because you live in L.A.
For people like you.
And he's fucking laughing at me, the bastard. He's laughing at me.
He said, "Ha ha! You paid $11, and now it's all gone."
And then he reaches under his chin and he pulls off his mask, and it's Schlatt. Who's laughing at me. And he says, "Look at you, you stupid L.A., California bitch. You pay more taxes. I'm Schlatt. Give me money. I hate the Pope. Yada, yada."
State taxes. Welcome to Texas.
An insecurity officer. Yikes, Schlatt. Jeez,
listen,
man.
I do what I have to do to maintain my sense of moral superiority above people who are from L.A.
Yeah, it's not hard.
I'm not even from L.A.
It really isn't even hard to do.
People in L.A. aren't even from L.A.
That's the worst part, is that you're voluntarily living in L.A.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Or even worse, I'm voluntarily living.
Well, voluntarily living in L.A.
You voluntarily get up, you go outside and voluntarily
smell all that smog.
That's the real killer right there.
Schlatt's in fucking Austin, Texas, smelling essential oils. And you're over there smelling...
dusk. I'm smelling dusk right now, and you're smelling Hollywood musk.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What does dusk actually... What does it smell like?
I could tell you right now.
Okay.
Dusk. Hoe wood. That's the first ingredient.
I find it especially funny. It's funny that Schlatt always brings up the smog, because he's painted this picture for our podcast listeners that when I walk out the door, it's like a bad day in Delhi.
Ted, you had to Google that that your car was gonna kill you.
It's like your render distance is on 0 when you get out there.
Delhi.
And yet you open the windows, and guess what? It's the same fucking effect. You're smoking a pack a day living in Hollywood.
Okay.
Let me tell you the next ingredient.
Hollywood's so polluted it can only load 1 chunk at a time.
First of all, we got hoe wood. Next, we got frankincense. Ooh. I don't know if you know this, Ted.
I know of frankincense.
Yeah. But one of the wise men delivered this to baby Jesus in the manger after Marriott hotels refused to board Mary and Joseph. Eucalyptus is the next one. Koalas eat this one.
Yeah.
And they all have chlamydia. And then the last one is lavender. It's a nice lavender.
Oh, nice.
Oil blend. Yep.
That isn't too bad.
I am just so mad that you believe that you talking about your diffuser. I had an actual story, and you come in and say, no, me bought new thing, me tell.
I bought a diffuser for hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, are you going to break it like you broke the monkey lamp? You absolute
this diffuser.
ape?
Well, let me tell you why I bought it. Because when we turned off the podcast, and you looked me in the eyes with those terrible look.
Yeah, I remember.
And you said you need to pull your weight to me. I said, okay, I need to improve my mood. And improved it I have, Ted Nivison. I am Chipper. I'm Chipper Jones on the Atlanta Braves. Chop.
Here's a question for you, though, Schlatt. Did you do the daily prayer?
Of course I did the daily prayer.
Okay.
The Pope behind me would be pretty upset if I didn't say that.
Yeah, I can tell.
Let me tell you how many I said. Guess how many I said.
Maybe 10?
6.
6.
Teen. 16 Hail Marys in quick, rapid succession.
Wait, what? Swagger, you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
He really got you there with the...
Yeah, dude, that was misdirection. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. Oh, I'm also delirious because I haven't left this chair for a week.
It's been a week.
That'll do it to you.
Yeah.
Did he bless your did he bless your dusk?
Did he bless my dusk? I would love it if Schlatt could bless my dusk. Call me at dusk every day and just say, hey, Swagger, just want to say, just calling to bless your dusk.
So if you're having a good
one. You're having a good one.
There,
That would make every dusk from this point forward fucking magical. I would actually actively look forward to dusk to the point where I would fuck up my entire sleep schedule just to wake up at dusk to hear Schlatt's voice.
Isn't Dusk Twilight?
Yeah. One of the best movies ever made. Fantastic love story.
With Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
Edward Cullen.
The vampire hottie.
Yeah.
Dreamboat Supreme.
He sparkles, dude. Bitches love sparkles. It's International Women's Day. And all I see on my timeline are fucking sparkles and the paint nail emoji.
This is a great segue, Ted.
It is.
See, I have suggested that we bring on. I have suggested that we bring on women guests.
Oh no!
A myriad
I know
of
exactly
times.
where this is going. Oh,
yep.
And what happens every time, Schlatt? What
every
happens?
single time. You know what Ted says?
What?
No.
I can't believe it.
No, we've gone a little too far. Look,
it.
Ted, I'm sorry. I've gone off on this tangent because of the terrible thing you said to me. That just wasn't true.
I don't even remember saying that. I remember you at the end of the podcast, you were like, sorry, I wasn't as active, guys.
I spun this sad tale about my day. But in reality, I was just bored.
Mm-hmm.
Swagger, that's on you.
Wait, what's on me?
He was bored last time. That's
he
on
was
you.
bored?
He was bored last time.
Yeah, you were boring him.
I was boring you?
You were boring me.
I
saw that painting and I went...
He's been laughing at all of your jokes.
Yeah, but I take out the fucking monkey lamp and you were beaming.
I was beaming.
So how can you say you were bored?
And I lit up for a bit after that.
Yeah.
Look at how this podcast so far is just a reflection on the last podcast.
Yeah. Are we not going to address that, you know, my new position in Chuckle Sandwich?
No.
What?
The monkey in the room?
What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
The monkey in the room.
The monkey in the room.
Are you kidding me? Charlie is that kid who says the joke louder in class, and he gets the laugh.
Did you say the monkey in the room?
I did, and then Charlie said it louder, and then Schlatt laughed. I could have gotten a coveted...
I think it's unbelievable. Ted, it's crazy. So you have, I
started this whole podcast, and I get the most shit.
The kid that claims that he said the joke first is
he
really
definitely
just the
didn't.
worst
I didn't hear him.
I didn't hear him either.
I don't think anybody heard him. Ted's going to throw a tantrum now.
Maybe
Ted's
I will.
the monkey
Maybe I'll stand at the end of the room and say sorry.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should get up and show us your entire... Maybe you should show us your fucking Urban Outfitters denim jacket. Because I'm so L.A. and
I
posh
got
and
this
cool
from
and hip.
Target because it's affordable. Swagger's eyes are just piercing fear. Oh.
What are you so scared of, man? You're not going to L.A. anytime soon, are you? You son of a bitch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, you wouldn't dare
no
do
one
that,
wants
would
to
you?
No, I don't want COVID-19. I quite enjoy breathing.
I kind of like breathing.
Fuck you.
And the other percent of the time, he's got a fucking metal helmet over his head.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's breathing through like fucking Darth Vader.
Fucking good protection, dude. It's fucking nice.
Like, yeah, what if somebody comes at you with a claymore, I guess?
Well, Ted, I'd really love it and appreciate it if you can tell your story.
I already told my whole story. I had to
rush through the story.
It's finished.
I rushed through the story because I was afraid that at some point you would interrupt me again with some bullshit about some normal household item you bought.
What the hell are you doing back on? You were supposed to leave a week ago.
I just stayed here. You guys didn't tell me to leave.
Who forgot Ted? Ted, you weren't supposed to be in charge of this. What are you doing, man?
I was given zero direction.
I didn't know that I had to pull him out.
He's been he's a fucking stew. Look at him. He's just been stewing there.
He's like in Dark Souls when he's become too hollow and his legs are atrophied and he's like a fucking skeleton. Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
I got legs, dude. I never skip leg day.
Humanity restored.
We got that view of your feet for free.
No, your socks are on, dude. It won't sell for as much.
Usually we got to work for the thumbnails.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay, or should I take this off?
I mean, take it off. You should probably take off the helmet.
You're a little muffled.
I'm sure for our audio listeners out there, love you to death. It sounds like you got a burlap sack over your head.
Nah, it's just a metal helmet.
It sounds like you did the first time we nabbed you for the first episode.
It's true. You nabbed me and I never left.
Schlatt, since you care so much about your diffuser, your smell zone, so much that you can smell it in your mustache, of which we discovered before the podcast, Schlatt was eating chips and he was bragging, for some reason, about how he could smell his chips in his mustache. So you want to elaborate on that?
No.
Yeah, he stores the ones
he
likes.
He
stores the ones he likes.
The one time I give you an ample opportunity to talk.
A little scent suppository.
Think of it like this. Where does body odor come from and hang around on?
The armpit.
Hair, right?
The armpit.
The armpit, but the armpit is smelly because of the hair, right? It just latches onto those follicles, right? You shave the armpit, not so smelly anymore. Same thing when you shave your ass, when you get in front of the bathroom like this, and then you go like this, boom, and then you go like this, you know, you get all the hair out.
You have said absolutely nothing for a full 30 seconds. So I don't even know what your point is. So the smell lingers.
What I'm saying is smell lingers on hair.
Right.
And so when I have my favorite foods like this, I will sometimes rub the food on my mustache.
No,
and then I'll have like a scratch and sniff for the rest of the day. All I have to do is pucker up my lips, bring the mustache close to my nostrils, and.
Have you ever done the spoiled Mo challenge?
The what?
The spoiled Mo.
Sounds awful. It's gonna be awful.
So basically, you get a glass of whole milk, like fucking full cream.
Oh,
and then you know this is under the pretense that you already have a mustache. So the idea is to give yourself a milk mustache by drenching your mustache in the milk to the point where it's fully saturated, where it's practically there, and you keep it on. You keep the milk on your lip, and the idea of the challenge is to see how long you can go having this milk right under your lips, spoiling, getting all up into your nostrils,
Jesus Christ.
and it's just a matter of you trying to outlast the spoiled milk on your lip. And the thing is, it gets harder each day because it gets smellier and smellier and crustier until the point where you wipe it off.
Speaking from experience?
That's what he says it like it's happening now.
Did you make this up on the spot right now, or is this just...
Well, I kind of had to because I drank a glass of milk before you guys left the Discord call, so I've just been sitting here for a week with a mustache just
it looks
covered
a little wet
in milk.
Right there on your thing. Is that?
He's tasting it.
No,
he's lapping. He's lapping.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Gross.
He's making fucking cheese on his upper lip.
Yeah. As Ted just watches in horror with a terrible terrible expression on his face. This actually segues us quite nicely into another idea that the Smelly Mo Challenge
just gave
me.
Fucking shit on me into the segue.
I already know it's coming. I'm like tense. I'm like, here it goes.
It's actually something they did, Swagger, to people they thought were witches in Salem. They get them on a nice canoe, perhaps sourced from the Native Americans nearby. They strap them onto a canoe and then feed them lots of milk and honey. Milk and honey for days.
Escapism.
Strap them out, and then they just, where's all the milk and honey going to go? You shit that right out.
Yep.
It builds up in the canoe. You get a bunch of birds just pecking at you. Whole bunch of animals as you sail into the void of the Pacific Atlantic Ocean.
Swagger, I have to ask you a question. Do you know what he's going on about?
Yeah.
I feel like I fell asleep during an audiobook and it's transitioning into a nightmare. That's how I feel listening to you right now.
He's gotten some key points inaccurate.
Yeah.
So he's talking about a method of torture and execution known as scaphism.
Oh. I thought it was called the Smelly Boat Challenge.
A bunch of fucking Vikings being like, hey, it's Sven Bergerson here. Yeah, we got the Smelly Boat Challenge.
Time to send the smelly boat down to River.
But yeah, basically what they do is they get two canoes. They would take whoever they want to torture and execute. They would force feed them a ton of milk, unpasteurized back then, so this shit would go right through you. And honey, and a lot of honey. So they would feed you a ton of it, and then you'd shit it out into this canoe. And the idea is that you're strapped into this canoe, and there's another boat on top of you. So it's basically a coffin with the sides open, and your arms would be out in the water, and the rest of your body would be inside. And the boat, over a period of time, would fill up with feces and urine and what have you. And also they would just throw milk and honey onto you before you'd even go out. And so the idea is that you're over a stagnant lake, a lake with, no river, no running water. It's just stagnant. So all of the flies, all of the insects would start, going into the boat, and look, there's shit. And, there's milk and honey, and, there's also rotting human flesh.
Oh, so this is a way to kill someone, or is this a way to torture?
It's both.
It's like torture. It's a terrible way to die.
It's torture for like weeks because,
Take notes, TikTokers.
Basically, over a period of a couple of days, these flies and insects will bury themselves into your flesh. And then, lay eggs, and then the maggots will...
What flies are these? What type of flies are these?
Well, they're laying eggs onto your skin, and then the idea is that when the eggs hatch, the maggots will start eating your skin and start eating your flesh. So you're eaten alive by, like, these multiple insects, and then you die. You die in your own shit, urine, and rotten flesh. And
that is literally...
It sounds like Los Angeles, am I right, boy?
That is
wow. That's the moral of the story.
You guys were giving me so much shit about having Swagger tell that story about his food poisoning, but then he just offers up this.
I was explaining what Schlatt was doing, dude. I know a lot about.
It's fun.
I know a lot about medieval torture. I did a lot of research into medieval period, medieval torture and shit.
Just a thing to get in character, or an interest/hobby?
Oh, interest/hobby, and also the character.
Worrying, yeah.
Well, now you got to lean into it. I wasn't even surprised you knew what scaphism was.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I know a lot.
What culture does it come from?
This was I believe it was Nordic. I believe this was something Vikings practiced.
Because I was going to say, if you're spread out like that and it's just a canoe, canoes are pretty easy to tip over, so wouldn't you just try to, tip the boat?
Well, you're strapped in, you just drown.
Yeah, that's a better way to go. I'd take that over. That's what I mean.
And I think they might have broken your arms and legs before going in there. So
okay. Well, that's a little caveat.
Let me just interject here and just say also,
they probably broke all of your limbs. They probably just broke it at the joint to the point where moving it all would have been incredibly painful.
Yeah. Well, I don't like. I prefer oat milk, and I'm not a big honey guy. So personally, I don't think I'd do this.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I like milk and honey as much as the next guy, but I don't think I like it enough to get eaten by insects and drown in my own feces.
That's fair.
That's what they mean when they're traveling to the land of milk and honey. It's where they do that shit.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Is that something? That could be something.
Jeez.
Wow, that's probably the first positive response I've gotten from Schlatt in 4 episodes.
Swagger, you ever heard of the breaking wheel?
Yeah, they break your arms and tie you around the fucking wheel.
Breaking wheel.
Yeah. Bronze Bull was kind of lit too.
Ted, do you remember when you put me on one of those?
That was
the brass ball. The brass ball.
We don't talk about that.
Tie it up, put you over a fire.
Yeah, well, no, it was this giant metal statue in the shape of a bull.
This is a torture episode.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go this route. You guys can stop me at any time.
What if they
interesting.
They could tickle you really bad.
Here's the thing. It is interesting. I am interested in what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, there was this... I mean, you've heard of the Bronze Bull, haven't you?
It sounds sort of familiar. Does it have to do with boiling?
We haven't faced off in a while, but yeah.
So basically, it was this massive brass statue, or it was bronze. It was one of those fucking weird, like, orange metals. But it was this massive thing of a bull, and it had a compartment on the inside for a person to be in.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, and the airways in this bull were shaped so that the screams of people inside would echo through the chambers and go out the snout of this bull and make it sound like the bull was mooing. So it was this big, this very fantastically designed art piece created by this fucking psycho. And he was like, hey, it works. It works. Someone pay me a lot of money. Like, I'll sell it to a king, so you pay me a lot of money to use it for his entertainment. And the king was like, I bet. Does it work? And the guy's like, yeah, no, it works for sure. He goes, oh, well, can you demonstrate how somebody would get in? And the guy was like, sure. And so he opens up the latch and he climbs in, and the fucking king locks it behind him, and he sets a fire under the bull. And then he listened to the inventor of the bull fucking burn to death in the Bronze Bull, and it worked.
Oh my God, that's like a fucking horror story.
Well, the guy fucking deserved it for making it. Like, it's only fitting, like, that he dies in this fucking horrible thing that he made to kill other people in. So it's kind of a happy ending.
Yeah. Did the king ever pay him?
Probably not.
That's what you worry about.
Sounds like a raw deal.
He probably pitched it as.
Sounds like a poorly monetized invention.
The king probably said, this is just going to be like an unpaid internship for like an hour, and then afterwards we can discuss, getting you on full time. But obviously after the hour, he was just charred skin and bones.
This is the problem with unpaid internships.
Have you ever heard of tar and feathering?
Oh yeah, it's very common practice.
Charlie, have you heard of that?
Yeah, of course. That's a fairly fairly one. I feel like
that's so basic.
It's what happened in the fucking American Revolution. All the fucking Britain sympathizers were tarred and feathered in public square.
When I was in a musical in junior high, it was Music Man. There was a mention of tarring and feathering someone and bringing them out to the city limits on a rail.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you fucking...
within the musical, or like...
Well, the actual action didn't, but it was like, there was a sentence in this musical, I'm pretty sure, where it's like, he's going to get, getting tarred and feathered and being brought to the city limits on a rail. So I assume it's like, you fucking dunk him in the oil, you throw the feathers on him, the boiling oil, and then you strap him to like a railroad rail, and you bring him to the city limits, and you just plop him down there to die.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This sounds like a way I'd torture a guest in like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh.
I mean, that would be torture tycoon.
The rail wasn't to die. It was just a big metal pole that they would strap the dude to, like he was riding it like a horse, and everyone would carry him and parade him through the center of the town.
Oh, okay. No, I've definitely seen an image of that, too.
A lot of people lived through tarring and feathering, too. It just hurt a lot, and it was, especially back in the day, there wasn't any, fucking rubbing alcohol to get the tar off. So you kind of had to wait. You kind of had to wait for your skin to just kind of peel off.
Did you guys know that there's such a thing as a 4th degree burn?
Oh yeah.
It's when it burns down to the bone.
Yeah.
Or the bone itself burns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a fun episode. This is a really fun episode.
Hold on. Before the podcast goes any further, allow us to fulfill our contractual obligations.
These days, the majority of shopping that we do is done online. And wouldn't you know, that's where today's sponsor, Honey, comes into play.
It's the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and automatically tests them at checkout. Honey supports all kinds of stores, from tech to gaming to clothing to home decor and even food delivery.
Here's how it works. You get Honey on your computer for free in 2 easy clicks. Then, when you're checking out on one of its 30,000 supported sites, Honey pops up, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons.
Now, all you have to do is wait a moment as Honey checks all the codes it can find, and if it finds one that works, you'll just watch the prices drop.
What did Honey save you money on recently, Mr. Schlatt?
Well, Mr. Ted, I'll tell you one thing. You know where I'm from. Tell me where I'm from, Ted.
You're from the good old city of New York.
That's right, and I like me some New York slices of pizza with my favorite mayoral candidate, Andrew Yang. Am I right? Chicken soup. Anyways, I saved a bunch of money on Papa John's recently, which has fantastic pizza. All I did was check out. The thing popped up. I clicked the button, used the code HoneyFound, and I saved a hell of a lot of money.
Haha, nice. Get Honey for free by going to joinhoney.com/chuckle. That's joinhoney.com/chuckle so they know we sent you.
I love chuckling. Thanks again to Honey for sponsoring today's episode.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a blast.
I'm trying to put some trying to think of some fun little quips to throw in between.
Yeah, Charlie,
thinking real hard about some puns right now.
Yeah, you really want some puns. I mean, it's like, what do you describe this fucking, like, awful, terrible way to die, you know? And you're like, yeah, the inventor was killed, fucking, like, immolated from inside this thing as he just slowly cooked to death. And I'm like, that's so bull. And then we get a laugh track. And that's so fucked, man. We're like, what do you want? So
Schlatt, I've got a revealing thing for you right now. I looked up the pollution index comparison between New York City and Los Angeles. And New York is 57 and Los Angeles is 66. And that's pretty damn close.
What, have you ever heard of this New York place before?
I don't. New York is a distant memory, Ted. I moved away from New York.
You lived there your whole life.
I was born there. Were you born in Los Angeles?
No. I was born in Massachusetts,
where the air is 2003, falling apart, piece of shit, junkyard boys, Toyota Tacoma.
He took his hand, he went bop, 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 coughed it all up. All the smog out like a smoke devil.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be dragging on LA, you better be giving that same amount to where you grew up.
Me leaving that place was enough of a punch in the face to it because the last good person left.
Right, because of all the good deeds you did and the shoveling you did.
I shoveled for my elderly neighbor who now has nobody left to shovel for.
That's horrible.
Say that Schlatt shoveled all of New York, all on his own.
Sometimes some may say, you know.
One day he may even have to use both hands.
Oh man, I love how the second I move to Texas, I take a once in a lifetime snowstorm with me, and nobody has shovels. So guess what I did?
Use your hands.
Oh, you had to do more shoveling.
Guess what I did? Guess what I did? I got my shovel out.
Did you bring a shovel with you?
No, I didn't bring a shovel. I didn't do anything.
Oh. You went searching for grandmas, and you said, I need purpose!
Exactly. And they all said no.
And they all happen to have guns, too, which was extra a problem because it's Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I walked...
Schlatt, you think
on my drive home... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
All right, I was going to say that on my ride from the Austin airport to my house, I passed a shop that just said guns on it.
Yeah.
Like there was no name. Like it wasn't like Billy's. It wasn't Billy's gun shop. It wasn't the Austin shooting range. It was literally just guns.
Yeah.
In big bold text, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!
We deal in broad strokes here in Texas."
Yeah.
Do you think you'll actually purchase and own a firearm now that you're in Texas?
Oh yeah.
What are you looking into buying?
Something that is big and loud.
Loud isn't a problem. You could shoot a fucking .22 and your ears will ring.
You can get a shotgun. I think the one that my buddy Tucker has is an 808. I think is what it's called.
Ooh. Oh,
that'd be fun.
An 808? Is that what rappers use?
Yeah, that's what those
Bruno
are the
Mars
bass noises. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to. I'm actually going to go to the range with Trainwreck soon.
Right. I was in Austin, Texas, like last year, or maybe the year before. It probably was the year before. Visiting my sister when she used to live there, and we went to this place called The Range. Literally just called The Range. Fucking
I think that's actually where I've been.
Yeah, so fucking cool. I went in there. They were like, I was like, oh wow, like I'm from out of state. They're gonna have to like do a huge fucking background check on me. Like I'm gonna have to wait here for a fucking hour before I can shoot a pistol. And I walk in there. They're like, hey, you got a driver's license? And I was like, yeah, here you go. And they're like, all right, yep, this checks out.
You can drive a car, you can drive a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, they're like, you ain't got no criminal record, do you? I was like, nope, no criminal record. They go, you ain't never stole nothing? I was like, no, I haven't done any of that.
Not yet.
Hey,
not yet.
You're not to your mom?
Yeah, he's like,
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he's like, well, you're over 18, so yeah, you go for it. And I was like, all right, cool. And fucking shot like 5 or 6 different guns. It was so fucking sick. Full auto P90 was fucking hectic.
Ooh.
When I was traveling over here, in late August, I took my dad to this gun range in South Dakota, and we got to shoot a .50 caliber machine gun.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and thing is about the .50 caliber machine gun is like it was also in an indoor range, so it was really fucking loud. You had to wear earplugs and then fucking headphones
the
on top of
on
that.
top.
Yeah, but it was the guy who was showing us, like he was keeping an eye on us. He had one leg on it, and then my dad had another leg on these 2 parts of the tripod.
Holy shit!
Sitting back, and I pressed the thing, and the bullets are so expensive, and we only had 10 in between me and my dad, so we both shot like 5, but it was like there was a kick to it, man.
Damn.
Yeah, they need like industrial bolts to hold them down until you put them in helicopters and shit.
Yeah, they put them on top of trucks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that Tucker has, my buddy Tucker has shot when he was in the Marines, though, is like he's shot like freaking rockets. Oh. He's
That's ridiculous.
He sat in the gunner thing of a tank. He got to shoot a tank, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God damn.
Guns are cool.
Yeah, they're so fucking
dangerous.
Sick. Yeah.
Cool.
No, dude, when I'm on the range and all that, like,
all your problems just melt away.
No, yeah. Especially if I take my problems to the range with me. No. It's the range is like
Charlie's stressing.
Like I love guns as much as the next person, but I understand like the seriousness in like when you were holding a gun, like your finger is off the trigger, you were pointing it in a safe direction, you're treating the gun like it's loaded. You have to know all the tenets of gun safety, and you have to be as fucking careful about it as possible.
Yeah, I suppose that is a good point to make for our listeners right now. We're not condoning you just walk into a range and say fuck all to everything. Make sure that you actually know how to handle this very dangerous tool.
Well, you don't want to be that fucking idiot that on his tombstone or like in his autopsy it says death by misadventure because you were so fucking stupid that you picked up a gun at the gun range. He was like, hey guys, look at me. I'm going to pull the trigger. And then you shoot your brains out. Like, you don't want to be that fucking idiot for a bit.
That's actually, like, why when you own a gun, it's, like, really important to have it locked away and stuff like that.
Yeah, locked away.
One of a big issue in the U.S. is the way they PSA about it is family fire, which is when, like, a kid will find, like...
Yeah, the kid finds a fucking...
Doesn't understand.
The kid finds a gun in his dad's fucking underwear drawer, and he's fucking like pointing it at his kid brother like it's the movies, and fucking shoots and kills him. You know, like I feel like if I had a gun in the house and I had like a young kid who was like, I'd lock it away or like put it up on the mantle.
Lock it away and don't tell him where it is.
Yeah, or like if I had a gun on the mantle. Like a fucking 38 special, or like like a revolver. and I had it up on the mantle in a glass case with a lock or whatever. And the kid will be like 9 or 10, to the point where he's like looking at it and like getting ideas like, oh, I want to see how we get it. I have this blah 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 blah. Then at that point, you just have to teach your kid like, this is how a gun works. Like, they're really dangerous. Like, and then you just fucking take them out to the range and you're like, shoot a couple of shots, and that way all the curiosity is gone. And then they know how to use the gun safely.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, there's two ways you can go about it. You could like completely remove them, but like as long as if you teach them in a very safe environment, then you can make sure that.
Yeah, it's like drug use or drinking. Like, when my kid is fucking 16, I'm going to be like, look, dude, here's 2 beers. Get drunk with me. Just so that my kid at 16 knows what it's like to be drunk. So that way when he goes to a fucking party and I go, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to my friend Timmy's house, Dad, okay? I'm going to go play games with Timmy. And then he goes to a fucking party and gets fucking wasted on Svedka fucking peach vodka. Like, it fucking passes out. He's a stomach pump. Like, you need to like, your kids need to learn, like, what their limit is.
Your guys'
in a safe environment.
What were your guys' parents like when it came to alcohol and stuff when you were growing up? Did they ever give you guys opportunities to like experiment?
Yeah, and every big Italian fucking family here. So I go to Christmas or Easter. And all my extended family would be around a big table, and I'd be like 16, 17, and my grandma would just be pouring me wine. She'd be like, oh, it's Easter, it's Christmas, drink wine. So I get fucking wasted with my grandma. Get absolutely wasted with my grandma. Like, probably the most fun I've ever had drunk.
That's one thing that I think is the coolest, at least, I mean, I can't speak for all families, but one of the coolest things for me about growing up, quote unquote, is how much chiller things become with me and my parents.
Yeah.
And how I can, like, become more like pals with them in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think honestly what it takes with that stuff is you just need to leave for a while and then come back on your own terms.
I mean,
and be like, hey, what's up? Good to see you. Because otherwise, if you're in the same house, it's all.
Yeah, it makes it a little harder.
Like when it came to weed, like apparently my dad smoked weed in college and stuff, but he like definitely stopped from like when I was born, when me and my sister were born. Like, up until like maybe when I was like going off to college. Yeah. But then now, as of late, like when I'm calling and catching up with him, he'll talk about like his weed and stuff that he bought and stuff. Like he's actually, ever since it like got legalized in 2016, he's got a little pen that he takes him. Yeah. Like one time I went to a Red Sox game with my dad. Take that, Schlatt. Red Sox. Yeah. I don't know. What would you just? And we'll get to the Red Sox game, and he'll take something out of his pocket. We're like, what's that? And he's like, oh yeah, I brought my vape pen, my weed pen with me. And he's getting high to watch a baseball game.
That's sick. Even for me, I smoke weed pretty much daily, multiple times a day. And I feel like when I get to the point where I have a kid, like where I'm in a relationship and I have to have a job and I need to like support my kids, because you have an infant. Like when you have an infant or a toddler or even all the way up to like maybe they're in their mid-teenage years, like you can't be fucking high. You're fucking
really can't.
I'm gonna be high as fuck and my wife's gonna be at work, like sitting at home fucking playing games or whatever I'm doing in 10 years when I have a kid. Like,
yeah, definitely in the context of like a relationship too, when you need to like take care of kids and stuff. Like,
yeah, you have to be responsible.
My mom getting pissed off of my dad if he was ever high during the early years of when we were me and my sister.
Because it's like it's like change your diaper. It's like, well, I'm so fucking high I could barely lift my fucking eyelids. I'm not going to change his diaper.
How high do you get, Swagger?
You need to fucking be present like all the time with young kids. That shit's
Pick them up from school. What happens if they fucking fall off the tree house and break both their arms? You'd be like, oh, I'm fucking high. I can't drive my fucking kid with 2 broken arms to the hospital.
Here, kid, this will take the edge off your brain.
This is nature's best medicine, kid. He's smoking.
Here, kid. I got 2 tickets to the Red Sox game, and we're not kidding.
I got season tickets, champ.
I told the story already, but it's so funny how the day I broke my thumb, my dad is like, oh yeah, you're fine. Let's go watch Transformers. So, right from the baseball game where I broke my thumb, we fucking watched Transformers, and I just stuck it in an ice cup during the entire film. Worth it though. Megan Fox. Worth the price of admission.
Yep.
Jeez.
Megan Fox was definitely, for all the young boys who watched Transformers. I remember like
Megan Fox was like a name that was always like thrown around.
Yeah, well, she was in
were
a
like,
magazine.
Oh, that girl's hot, like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I only remember Optimus Prime, bro. I can't help you.
Didn't they rate Megan Fox as like the world's hottest woman? Like the year Transformers came out, it's like she was like the world's hottest fucking female. Everyone, according to the board of men that rate women, Megan Fox is officially scientifically proven to be the hottest person alive at this moment.
The World Men Organization.
Yeah, the World Men Organization.
The manhood.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the original like 2007 Transformers, though, I mean, Michael Bay was definitely being like, I want to get some hot shots at Megan. Because, like, there's, like, that one shot of, like, her, like, working on a car, and they're just, like, shot, and then her tits.
Man.
And then that's
who's complaining?
And then Shia LaBeouf's running around screaming for his life.
Yeah, dude. He's running around in Transformers going, pointing at Megatron saying, he will not divide us! He will not divide us! And then he's holding up like a flag.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was my favorite part of the movie, dude. It was my favorite part of the movie.
Did you guys see that internet historian
I saw the whole series. I was there for like when that shit was like being live streamed, dude. That was fucking hilarious. I just had the live stream on in my other monitor. I just watched these guys fucking go up to the camera and just like scold Milk. And there's this one guy that was role playing as Solid Snake, and he'd have the eye patch, and he'd just fucking say the lines from Metal Gear Solid. And it was so fucking funny.
So for all those that don't have the context for this, do you want to go into a little more detail on what that whole thing was with the He Will Not Divide Us?
What, me?
Yeah,
I suppose.
I mean, is this the one where they set up a camera?
So basically, Shia LaBeouf was relatively. I would say he was just a little bit upset that Donald Trump became the 45th president
of the United States.
Of the United States. He was I would say like a little peeved. He was like a little peeved off.
Slightly
perturbed at this fact that Donald Trump secured the 2016 election victory over Hillary Clinton. So he decided like, hey, like I'm for the next 4 years I'm going to have this live stream, and it was like an art thing. It was like practically like an artistic thing.
Sure. He's also done a lot of like performance art based stuff. I think there was like some sort of art thing that he did.
Yeah, he got naked and he put paint like in his asshole, and he shat colored paint onto a canvas.
So I didn't know about that one.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Oh,
it didn't happen.
We've come full circle. We've come fucking full circle from the start. Before we were talking about this podcast, we were like, I'm going to get a new cat and it's going to spray everywhere.
Yeah.
Turns out the cat, who was the cat? Shia LaBeouf. That's right, baby.
What I was going to say though is that he had this sort of performance art thing where he put like a paper bag over his head.
Yeah.
People can come in and do like whatever they want to him, which was like.
Oh, well, he was.
Like, why are you doing that in the first place, Shia? Like, what are you trying to bait people into like coming in like giving you jacking you off or something?
He wore the bag that said "I'm not famous anymore." I mean, I think that comes down to mental health, but also you could argue that it's artistic expression. But he obviously has been through the ringer in terms of his mental health, and that's going to happen to any young actor. Like, if you go up to Shia LaBeouf and you go, yo, dude, I loved your work in Even Stevens, I reckon he would probably punch you in the nose. But I don't know. I mean, like, the whole He Will Not Divide Us thing was basically he set up a webcam, and the idea of this art was for the next 4 years. I believe it started in New York. For the next 4 years, this webcam in like this like kind of like little divot alleyway would always be on, and then people would go in front of it, and it would be like anti-Trump, which it was a big political thing, but they'd go and they demonstrate, but it was so quickly co-opted by trolls online that lived in New York, and they would just fucking walk over to the webcam and play like with speakers and fucking play like music and like go there and just fucking like dance or say like shit that would basically provoke the crowd for entertainment. So they would go there and say something ridiculous or offensive or whatever, and then just fucking run away or troll Shia into trying to like punch them, and like it was fucking like ridiculous to the point where like I think people like called it bomb threats or something, or it got shut down. It was like a safety risk. So then he moved it. Yeah. He moved it to like another place.
Twice.
It was like 3 times.
He moved it to like the desert.
Yeah,
right?
And
people like triangulated flights.
Yeah. It was one
showed up at the sign.
It's like after he realized that like all these trolls are just going to keep like inserting themselves into it, he just decided like, okay, random location in a random place. We're just going to point a camera and a flag that is always going to be raised. That's going to say he will not divide us.
They made the mistake of including audio, though. Because then people figured out that there was like a bullfrog. Yeah, it was, and they figured out where the bullfrog is from.
They could hear.
The frog divided us.
They could hear the frog, dude. They heard the frogs croaking in the distance, and some dude online was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a frogologist. It's this fucking frog, which is native to like this specific part of Tennessee." And so they looked over Tennessee.
I'm a frog enthusiast and a troll.
They had people like triangulate fucking the stars, the constellations. They had people.
Oh yeah, the constellations.
Yeah, to pinpoint. They did like the whole like when does the sun set? Like that's the time, the local time. They had all the flight patterns. They triangulated it, and then they got it to like a fucking like 2 or 3 square kilometer like search area. And then one dude was like, okay, I'm going to drive by this area with a truck and just honk my horn, and if you guys can hear it on the live stream, then we're good. And he went by, and sure enough, you could hear the horn honking. And then like a bunch of other people, when they found out where it was, they waited until the cover of night, and then they got like a fucking Make America Great Again flag and like a hat or whatever. And then they fucking pulled down the He Will Not Divide Us thing. They put the flag up with the hat, and then after that,
it's funny because like say what you want about like the whole.
I'm not making a political statement. It's just
like,
funny.
At the end of the day, it's pretty funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
No matter what the political spectrum side of it is, either.
The flag could have been anything.
Yeah, because the whole point was just to troll Shia LaBeouf because he would just get so fucking angry.
Yeah, it wasn't even a political thing. It was just literally the internet versus Shia LaBeouf.
Then didn't he? Then I think after that he had a breakdown. I think like he like threw punches over the fact that like he got the wrong. Well, this wasn't even about this. It was like he was at a restaurant. And like it was something over French fries. It was like either he had too little French fries or like they weren't cooked right,
they were too crispy
or something. And then like he got into a huge argument, and I think he threw some punches and maybe threw French fries. Shia LaBeouf, if you were listening to this podcast, you'd be more than happy.
He does. Every episode, I see him in the comments. I can't get away.
Everyone would be more than happy.
He comments, Shia LaBeouf comments, this is the worst one yet. And I'm like, God damn it, man. It's
fine. Shia, you could come on and defend yourself. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm really just talking a lot of bullshit. So, like, don't fucking
Swagger will be waiting in this chair for another 7 days for you to come on.
Yeah, man, I'll be ready. I'll be ready for it. But yeah, I mean that's the whole context behind He Will Not Divide Us.
Shia LaBeouf, star of 2003's Holes.
Oh,
was he? And that Holes was good.
Dude.
Yeah, don't you remember Shia LaBeouf?
I remember.
I don't know who he was in Holes.
He was the main character. He was the kid.
He was silent kid. He was Stanley Yelnats. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was the kid that was.
No, that was Zero. That was
Zero was his buddy that didn't talk.
Can you imagine being under a car and eating like peaches out of a can in the desert
Yeah, dude. I like the one thing where they climb the mountain and they find that little like area that's covered in water and like they're pulling out onions from the ground. I legitimately thought like, oh, that's an ice cream sundae? Like that's really weird.
They were talking about the onions?
They were talking about the onions. So they were like imagine it was an ice cream sundae, but he was just telling the kid it was an ice cream sundae. I was like, that's a really weird looking ice cream sundae. That doesn't make any sense. I was like, this movie is stupid, and I stopped watching it.
Fun fact about holes, actually, that I only learned.
To fucking turn it on.
Yeah.
I only learned this once I got my pet in like the 4th grade, but because we had to rewatch it for some school thing, I think.
Yeah.
And you know the yellow spotted lizards, the scene where they dig this hole and they're like, stop, those lizards will kill you, and it's just like these very poisonous lizards crawling all over them.
Yeah.
They're actually bearded dragons.
Yeah.
That they just painted yellow.
Yeah.
Really?
They put some little paint on them to add yellow spots, called them yellow spotted lizards.
I hope they got paid. I hope they got properly compensated for that role.
I hope they did. Yeah, I hope they got a lot of crickets after that. But the only reason I cared about that was because I had a bearded dragon back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, speaking of lizards, I found one in my house yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
How big was it?
Like this big.
Did you eat it?
No, I grabbed it with a cup before it ran under my refrigerator and before Bear would eat it. So, like, I put this cup over the lizard, and then I put a piece of paper under it, and then lifted it up, and I moved the cup, and then it looked at me, and then all of a sudden it just detached its fucking tail, and his tail was flapping around all over the cup, and I was like, you fucking idiot. I was going to eat you? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking serious?
Like you weren't even holding on to its tail. Like it was just like
take its tail to make it feel better. Like
I literally moved the cup, and it like looked at me like this. And then fucking tail's fucking flapping or like hitting the fucking, it's going like ding, ding, ding on the fucking glass. And I'm like, why? Why'd you do that? Now he's not going to have a fucking tail. That's like his only defense. He's like a one-trick pony. He's got to wait like fucking 3 months to grow his fucking tail back so we can sever it again.
And for what, you know?
Don't they grow? Yeah, they grow them back.
Yeah, dude, but like it's taking forever. Now, like then I put him outside and he's tailless. What happens when a fucking raven comes down and tries to eat him and he doesn't have a tail to detach?
I don't know. I think that
I honestly should have just fucking crushed it under the heel of my foot and just put it out of its misery.
It does sound like you're really pissed about the fact that this lizard ran away from you.
It didn't run away. It was caught. It was already caught, and I was gonna put it outside. And it was just the lizard was so fucking stupid that it was like I'll just fucking detach my tail for fun because apparently it feels good.
What we've learned today on the Chuckle Sandwich podcast.
I should have stomped on its head.
Absolutely no patience.
I should have stomped on its head with the heel of my boot, and I should have skid it.
You can leave it in the house.
I should have stomped it. I should have stomped it with the heel of my boot and skid it. I should have skidded it on my marble floor, and had a red smear.
Don't viscerally describe you stomping on this.
Swagger Souls has absolutely no patience for stupid lizards.
No.
Is what we've learned.
You know what? I don't want this guy in the podcast anymore.
Why?
He's making me kind of uncomfortable.
I don't know.
Like Ted usually.
Yeah,
I've just been so uncomfortable the whole time. You've just been talking, and I just
He's talking about destroying lizards. He's telling us about torture devices.
I see that milk spot just getting bigger and bigger, and I keep looking at that milk spot. You're just curdling over there, man.
Yeah.
You know, as the creator of the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, I'm going to make an executive decision, boys, and I think we're all on the same page about this. Swagger Souls, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to let you go.
What do you mean?
I think you are no longer a member of the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, unfortunately.
Looks like it's down to 2 members and Ted now.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we've never had to do this. I'm sorry.
No, this almost feels like a torture.
Well,
it feels like
okay. Well, why don't we ask?
It feels like I'm in a cup right now. I'm struggling around, and you're the tail, Swagger. You've been detached.
Let's ask the people that matter, the live studio audience. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you want me on for another episode? Do you want me on another episode?
No,
another one.
I saw it.
No.
Yeah?
Where we can see him. can say them.
He's playing.
Keep your hands up.
He popped out his tail. And
Swagger, one more time with your hands up. Ask the studio audience.
Okay.
No.
No.
Do you want me to stay?
No. Hey, get that hand in the air with his elbow. He hit him with his elbow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Swagger. Jaya in there. He's in there.
Hands behind your head, straight up. Hands behind your head, straight up, you little bastard. Okay? Don't you dare move. Now, does the live studio audience want Swagger to stay? That's dead silence. It sounds like... What? We saw your hand move.
And you hit the boo button. You're not helping your case, man.
That's the exact reason. This belligerency is the exact reason why we're kicking you off. Yeah. You're stepping on lizards.
I didn't. I didn't step on the lizard. I'm saying I should have I'm saying I ought to. Okay, all right.
Swagger, do you have any final words here before you leave the Chuckle sandwich once and for all?
Well, it was fun. It was fun to be on twice in a row. I was a little upset because you guys, after the first one, you guys were like, "Look, you were so good. If you stay in this Discord call for a week,
Swagger,
and you don't leave,
didn't know you were in here
for a week, then you can be on the Chuckle Sandwich podcast as a member." And I said that to you, like, sure.
Let me set the record straight. We all showed up to do our weekly podcast, and all of a sudden we hear, "Hello? Hello, is anyone there?" That sounds a lot like Swagger Souls. And he's in here, and he's breathing really, really. He's like...
And this whole time I have Shia LaBeouf in my DM saying, "When can I come on? When can I come on?" I say, "You can't. We have Swagger on right now."
Swagger says that he doesn't know how to use Discord. He forgot in a week. So... We were feeling bad. We had to keep him on. We thought it would be fine. Clearly it wasn't.
Yeah.
And we checked the topics chat. We checked the topics chat, and it's just full of torture, gun, alcohol. I should have stepped on the lizard. I should have stepped on him.
Kill that damn lizard. Kill that fucking lizard.
You know what, Swagger? If there's one thing I think I'd have to say to you, it's next time, pull your weight.
All right, I can do that.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Chuckle Sandwich Podcast. This has been episode,
episode 7.
Hey, episode 7.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You don't get to say that.